Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm James Hill.
And I'm Alexandra Clements. This morning on Daybreak, we all wonder where the snowplows are, but now there's a way for you to find them with the touch of your finger.
And snow and ice covered the city last week. Jillian Belich is here, and she's going to be joining us to let us know how the weather will be better or if it will be worse.
Plus, James and I have an interview with the Vice President of the Point Park Music Association.
Daybreak, it starts right now. Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm James Hill again alongside Alex. The weather, it's something everybody's been talking about. It's been pretty rough on the East Coast.
It's been a big blizzard going on, yes.
I know, Alex, you like the snow?
I love the snow. I love driving in it. I love playing in the snow. I love it. Well, I wish we had more of it.
I like it too. It's just the days after. The slush, it's just, it doesn't get fun. Are we going to be expecting more of that as we go through?
Sadly, yes. More towards the weekend. Yes. Thanks, Alex and James. This week is shaping up to be another cold week. Monday with a high of 17 and a low of -1. Tuesday gets a little bit better with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 25, with it being a little bit partly cloudy. And during the week on Wednesday, it will warm up a little bit with a high of 32, but a low of 0. Thursday into Friday are going to be into the lower teens, and Saturday and Sunday will go back up into the 20s, but still with lows in the lower teens. That is the weather looking back. That is the weather this week. Now back to James and Alex with what's going on at the school.
Thanks, Jillian. A new service that's in the works to make the lives of Point Park students a little easier. The university is in the process of releasing new software that will help allow students to track Point Park shuttles. The software shows where each Point Park shuttle is in real time, giving the students the privilege to be able to plan their shuttle rides a little more accurately. The service, it would be available on smartphone internet browsers as well as computer browsers. Plans for the software are still being discussed, but hopefully we can see that change in the near future.
A new show is set to open this Friday, February 6th at the Pittsburgh Playhouse. The Rep, the Conservatory's professional theater company, will present the world premiere of Prussia 1866, a story of young scholar Friedrich Nietzsche, his mentor Heinrich, and his mentor's wife. The play, directed by Kim Martin and written by Gab Cody, will run through Sunday, February 22nd in the Raw Theater. You can purchase tickets on the Pittsburgh Playhouse website or at the box office.
And 5 Point Park University students are currently entering this year's Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah. Freshman cinema majors Damon Long and David Randolph and Justin Illing, along with senior theater majors Neiman Aaron Outland, they earned the opportunity by applying with the Creative Mind Group. This company, it connects with the next generation of talented television and film professionals to the entertainment industry. The interns, they're placed with companies in the industry of choice who are doing that work at the festival. This week-long internship, is meant to give students a chance to network with professionals and form relationships that could lead to jobs in the future. Now, Josh Krupp, there's a lot of stuff going on nationally. It's been a busy week here, but it's been a busy week around the country, actually, Alex. Isn't it crazy?
Yes, it has.
Josh, what's going on with national news this week?
Yeah, James, a lot's going on with national news this week, particularly Winter Storm Juno that rolled through the Northeast last week. It left New Englanders stuck with more than 2 feet of snow in some areas, and from Philadelphia to Boston, more than 35 million people braced for a paralyzing snowstorm that had historic potential. The snow lived up to the hype in New England, but left politicians and forecasters apologizing elsewhere. While New York, Philadelphia, and New Jersey prepared to get 1 to 2 feet of snow, New York saw just under 10 inches, Philadelphia a mere inch or so, and New Jersey got up to 10 inches. But while the snowstorm may have missed New York and company, it showed no mercy to the Northeast. It became the snowiest January storm for Boston, and cities in New Hampshire, Maine, and Connecticut accumulated over 30 inches of snow. And Disneyland's measles outbreak that we told you about last week is getting worse. 2 more cases of measles have been confirmed in Arizona, linked to a family of 4 who recently traveled to Disneyland in California. The outbreak has now spread to a total of 14 states. Switching gears now, Jordan has agreed to swap a woman convicted of taking part in a terrorist attack in 2005 in exchange for a Jordanian fighter pilot held by ISIS. No word, though, so far on whether ISIS is going to accept this deal. It is also hoped that ISIS will also free a Japanese journalist, Kenji Goto, who is also a hostage of the terror group. And finally, Australian scientists say a particular strain of probiotics could offer a possible cure for people with potentially fatal peanut allergies. Researchers studied the effects that the probiotic had on 60 children allergic to peanuts, 80% of which tolerated peanuts afterwards without any allergic symptoms. Peanut allergies have increased by 350% in the past 2 decades, and the most common death due to food allergies. That's what's going on around the nation and in the world. Now back to James and Alex at the couch.
Thanks for that, Josh. Coming up on Daybreak, Alex and I, we have an interview with the Vice President of the Point Park Music Association. She's going to join us, and she's going to tell us all about the great music she does here at Point Park.
Plus, music will be filling the studio today as Eli Mahalik will be performing for us. Coming up after the break.
We are a social people. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
Start your morning with City News.
Start your morning with campus news.
Start your morning with political coverage.
Start your morning with fun.
Start your morning with us, only on Daybreak.
Did you know that Point Park has a cheerleading squad?
Don't stop.
Don't get it confused. Not only do our cheerleaders represent Point Park at regional and national competitions, but they also promote spirit and awareness of every sports team on campus. Come to any men's or women's varsity basketball game at home to watch the cheerleaders perform at halftime and cheer from the sidelines from the first jump ball to the final buzzer. Sports not your thing? You can catch the cheer team lead the crowd at the fall and spring pep rallies as well, or at several competitions around Pittsburgh each year. So what are you waiting for? Show the Point Park cheerleaders the support they show you.
To me, freedom of speech means there are no barriers to voice opinions. Communication is key to a functioning society and relationships in those societies. I believe our forefathers gave us this right, so if concerns or problems arise, we have the right to respectively use words, aids, and body language to give our message. Compromise may not always be met, but when it does meet, it opens up the world to new ideas, relationships, and makes the world become a happier place.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Thank you, Rylan, so much for joining us this morning.
Hello.
Hi. First of all, tell me a little bit about the Music Association. What do you guys exactly do here at the school?
So we're kind of a sub-club of the SAM Club, which is the Sports, Arts, and Entertainment Management Club. We more focus on music, everything about it. At our meetings, we talk about local music, some of the concerts that all of our club members have gone to, and we really want to express to them how much it means to be into the music scene, and we try to get them as much opportunities that we can with the name of the Point Park Music Association.
What sort of events do you guys hold?
So we try to work a lot with all of the clubs around campus with providing their music. We did have a panel last semester, and it focused on 3 main guest speakers. One of them is Alex Avakian, who is the co-owner of Daily Bread, Vinnie Macy, who runs Pittsburgh Trike Night and the Pittsburgh Down and Derby, which is a roller derby thing. It's kind of cool. And Mike Jacks, who is a radio personality here at WAMO down in Pittsburgh. So it was really cool. They really wanted to inspire creativity and show students here how being creative and using your hobbies like rollerblading could, you know, you can make a business out of it and you can have fun with it and you can make money, and it's something that's very important to them. So.
Well, I know this program, it's not necessarily new, but you guys have definitely like kind of come onto the scene much more. How did that process come? How did you like get from where you were to where you are now?
It's all about being as involved on campus and as much as possible, talking to your professors. All of the jobs that I've had within the 4 years of being at Point Park, I've gotten them through Point Park and all the professors here, and just making connections. We really want to make this a really buildable program. There are a lot of more notable programs in entertainment management, and we want to start building it up because it is a great program. We do have a lot of connections here.
So these connections that you've made, how do they help you in your professional life?
It's kind of funny because they all start as friends, and we just hang out and just talking about, you know, what inspires us and how we want to make the local music scene a little bit better. It's this kind of underground movement that we've been working with a lot of the children and like teenagers around here with just expressing to each other that we're here to help you out and pushing as much content to everyone around Pittsburgh. So.
It does seem like you guys are doing a good thing, pushing a lot of content, but I gotta ask, what's like the biggest, well, I don't want to say the biggest thing you guys have done so far, and like, what's your next plan coming up?
The biggest thing that we've done was the panel. Vinnie Macy actually just did the Orange is the New Black cast wrap-up party as the roller derby, so he used that as a platform. Daily Bread kind of has a more hip-hop background and foundation for it. They have Mac Miller, who wears their clothing, and actually the founder is his best friend. Wow. So we have that, and those are kind of not like local celebrities who kind of help us out, and we really appreciate it. They're really good friends of ours. So.
Do you ever put on events with musicians that go to the school?
Yeah, we are actually hosting a open mic night at 100 Wood sometime in March. We're still in the planning stages, and we also plan all the concerts in Village Park.
And what's your next big event again? Did you mention that?
Because
the panel had previously
the panel was previous. We have the open mic night coming up, and also we're working with our new record label here at Point Park called Pioneer Records. Hannah Jenkins is the winner to that contest, so we're actually kind of working with our department and planning a CD release party and kind of going in hands-on to see how recording works over at Red Cayman Studios.
Can you tell us a little bit about that music label and how it started and how you picked the winner of it?
It actually just started last year. We have a record class, and we learn all about how to record music and also the business behind it, pushing it through radios and stuff like that. So Ed Traversary, along with the two professors, decided to kind of create a record label. They did a contest, and they had hundreds and hundreds of entries, and with that they just interviewed a lot of the students, and it was only Point Park based, and they just wanted to see who would fit really best in the studio for the first face of Point Park.
And to wrap things up today, what do you see the future of this program being? Like, what's the next step?
I hope that it's going to be a little bit recognizable. They really focus here on getting hands-on experience, and that's something that's really important. Hopefully the program can progress, and we can move more into each different foundation, such as sports and entertainment and the arts part, to focus on all three pillars.
Rylan, thanks again so much for joining us. Coming up on Daybreak, everyone wonders where the snow plows are when the snow hits the ground. The new technology that lets you keep track of the city's snow plows.
And the Penguins are back from the All-Star break. How they fared in their first games since a few-day break. Coming up after the break.
Here at the Pioneer sideline, we get freshmen involved as quickly as possible so they get the real-world experience on air and behind the scenes to set themselves apart in internships and potential jobs. Blaine, where is that video? I needed it in KeyPro like yesterday.
All right, I got you, Chris. But I got a quick question for you guys.
What do you mean the questions?
Like,
it's always a question.
Look.
It's always a... What? Where is he? Blaine!
Blaine! Blaine!
Freshman, you can't find any good ones anymore.
Do you know all the things you can do with your student ID? Along with getting discounts to some of the restaurants around campus. Showing your Point Park ID can net you deals on tickets at theaters in the Cultural District. To check out all the current options, just search Student Discounts on the Point Park University homepage.
An expression, a belief, a symbol, freedom to worship, an unspoken word. To express yourself means standing up for what you believe in. There's a freedom to worship, and a freedom to live. To speak never saying a word, to love, to let your voice be heard. The light of your own path. For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
The Carnegie Way might be paying off for the United States Steel Corporation. U.S. Steel turned its first annual profit in 6 years. The downtown steelmaker has been cutting costs and closing plants frequently over the past several months. Although now reaching profitability, the steelmaker is still taking steps to cut costs. This week, U.S. Steel announced that it was temporarily reducing production at pipe-making plants in Alabama and Texas. That reduction could cause about 2,000 layoffs. Through all the restructuring, U.S. Steel cut its expenses in 2014 by 11%, or $2.2 billion.
And the City Planning Commission has cleared the way for a new apartment complex to be built in Station Square. Station Square's owner, Forest City Enterprises, announced plans last month to build a 300-unit apartment complex to the east of the south side riverfront complex. The apartments, they would be spread out between two buildings at the former location of the East Warehouse. Most recently, that location was home to popular nightclub Whim. Construction is scheduled to begin in July or August, with completion scheduled for summer of 2017.
The North Shore might also be seeing some new apartments. Columbus developer Continental Real Estate, alongside the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pittsburgh Pirates, pitched a plan to the city this week to build 200 to 300 apartments on the North Shore next to the Hyatt Place Hotel. Early plans call for an 8 to 9 story building. However, before such a building could be constructed, Continental and the Allegheny County Stadium Authority must find a way to replace parking that would be removed. Continental hopes to start construction early next year.
And how many times have you looked outside your window and wondered where the snowplows were?
Every single time it snows, James.
Well, now the city has a new website that's letting you keep track of the snowplows. Daybreak reporter Madison Krupp has the story.
Mayor William Peduto has announced the launch of the new Snowplow Tracker website. The website will be tracking about 120 vehicles to see where the plows have been within the last 4 hours. I have here on my phone, you can pull up the website. It's pittsburghpa.gov. You click on this thing that says Snowplow Tracker, and it will bring up a map and tell you exactly where all the plows have been within the last 4 hours. You've probably been there, wondering when road crews will make it to your road. Jonathan Dutton knows that feeling.
It started snowing really bad. It was during it was snowing, icing, everything. The roads were really slippery, not plowed, not salted, and I was it was an older car, so I was trying to run it in the windshield. Wiper fell off, so I was trying to, at every stoplight, put it in park, jump out and clean off the windshield.
The website is designed to give drivers in Pittsburgh real-time updates on road conditions so you can see where crews are and where they're headed.
I would have been able to see when they were coming, have a preemptive idea of if I was going to be able to get out of there, what time, when the roads would have been safe to drive on.
The website is only fully active during winter weather. Residents can click on the snowplow icon to see its current location and also its history of the last 4 hours.
And what this new program allows is, for the first time, people in Pittsburgh have the ability to see the operations of our city in real time.
Tracking the plows will help drivers plan ahead for busy schedules. Many commuters face the simple challenge of getting to work in the morning. Schools and universities will also be able to use this to help decide on school delays.
Ultimately, the school delays or cancellations is up to the school administrator, but I think they would look to this as a resource as well when they make their decision.
With this new website, you will be able to see whether your street is safe without even having to look out your living room window. Reporting for Point News, I'm Madison Krupp.
Thanks, Madison, for that story. Well, the Pens, they are back on the ice, and they have their captain back.
That's right, James. And now Olivia Fisher is here for your sports update. Olivia?
Despite the one-game suspension of Penguins captain Sidney Crosby, the team came out on top with a victory of 5-3 over the Winnipeg Jets. Crosby's suspension was caused by his absence in Sunday night's All-Star game. By not suiting up in the All-Star game, the NHL found it disrespectful due to Crosby's full-game participation in their game against the Chicago Blackhawks 4 days prior to the All-Star game. Crosby returned for Wednesday night's game against the Capitals that resulted in a 0-4 loss. The Pens also had games against the New Jersey Devils, and Columbus Blue Jackets over the weekend. And this week, the Pens play against the Colorado Avalanche, the Anaheim Ducks, and the Los Angeles Kings. In the world of NBA, injury seems to be a common denominator. Number 24, Kobe Bryant, will yet again finish the season out on the injured list. Bryant is injured in his rotator cuff region and was injured during last week's game against the New Orleans Pelicans and underwent surgery this week, forcing Bryant to take up the bench for the remainder of the 2014-2015 season. Another big name out with injury in the NBA is LeBron James. King James is out due to a wrist injury, but the Cavs don't seem to be struggling one bit. The Cavaliers clinched game number 8 on their winning streak against the Trailblazers Wednesday night with an outstanding performance by two-time NBA All-Star Kyrie Irving. Irving is only 22 years old and in his 4th season with the Cavaliers and put up his career high of 55 points Wednesday, shooting 11 out of 19 from beyond the arc in a 99-94 win. As for the National Football League, the Super Bowl 49 happened this past weekend at University of Phoenix Stadium between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. The game came upon the heels of the Deflategate controversy, where the Patriots were accused of intentionally deflating their footballs to make them easier to catch and hold on to. That was what's happening in sports. This week, Aaron Myler joins us with what is going on around Hollywood.
The classic hit movie Ghostbusters is being rebooted, but this time with the 4 Ghostbusters being played by women. The director of the movie has confirmed that the lead characters will be played by Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones. Filming for this movie is expected to begin this year. Indiana Jones is another movie that is going to be remade, and this time with a new lead. Chris Pratt is reportedly being looked at for the iconic role of Indiana himself. Disney Studios has yet to comment on the subject. Tom Petty will be receiving royalties for the hit song Stay With Me by Sam Smith. Stay With Me and Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down have very similar sounds, and the publishers of both songs reached an agreement about the alleged similarities. The publishers for Stay With Me admitted that the 2 songs did sound alike, so Tom Petty will be credited as co-writer for the track. Petty will now receive 25% of the songwriting royalties for the song. The SAG Awards were last Sunday, and the stars came out for the show. Modern Family lost to Orange is the New Black for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a TV comedy. This win for the Netflix show ended Modern Family's 4-year reign over that category. Stars at the event included Sarah Hyland, Meryl Streep, and Sofia Vergara. That is everything that is happening in the world of entertainment. Back to the desk with James and Alex.
Coming up on Daybreak, we are bringing some of the talent that Point Park has to offer to the forefront.
Eli Hemlock, he'll be here joining us right after the break.
If you're having trouble with your schoolwork this semester, there's a helpful place on campus that you should know about. On the 7th floor of Lawrence Hall is the Program for Academic Success, which provides services like tutoring and academic counseling. The program's Writing Center is specifically designed to help you with your writing assignments, and you can even get help for them online. Students are encouraged to stop in the office, give a call, or send an email.
Every human being has a purpose, has a dream to have their voices heard, no matter where they come from, no matter where they go. As an American, it is their right to have freedom of speech. I have a dream that one day this message will speak louder than words, that even the quietest voice will not go unnoticed. That is my dream. What is yours? For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
Welcome back to Daybreak, and now we're joined by Eli. Eli, I know you're going to be doing a lot of things. We're really excited. You're performing at the spring concert a little bit later, but Alex.
But
grandma
today,
fun day.
Eli will be performing an original song by Panic at the Disco, the Ballad of Mona Lisa.
Very nice.
Take it away, Eli.
Paints her fingers with a close precision. He starts to notice empty bottles of gin and takes a moment to assess the sins she's paid for. A lonely speaker in a conversation. Her words are swimming through his ears again. There's nothing wrong with just a taste of what you paid for. Say what you mean, tell me I'm right, and let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. Whoa, Mona Lisa, you're guaranteed to run this town. Whoa, Mona Lisa, I'd pay to see you frown. Senses something, call it desperation. Another dollar, another day. And if she had the proper words to say, she would tell him, but she'd have nothing left to sell him. Say what you mean, tell me I'm right, and let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. Whoa, Mona Lisa, you're guaranteed to run this town. Whoa, Mona Lisa, I'd pay to see you frown. Mona Lisa, wear me out, please to please ya. Mona Lisa, wear me out. Say what you mean, tell me I'm right, and let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. Whoa, Mona Lisa, you're guaranteed to run this town. Whoa, Mona Lisa, I'd pay to see you frown. Say what you mean, tell me I'm right, and let the sun rain down on me. Give me a sign, I wanna believe. There's nothing wrong with just a taste of what you paid for.
Eli, that was
Thank you
fantastic.
for that amazing performance.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us today on Daybreak.
I know. Don't forget to start your morning with us next week. Once again, Eli, thanks. Have a good week, everybody.